Okay, no formal intro, but this is still chapter 18 of Four Swords of the Kingdom, the board game. And we're on the 8 of diamonds. If you get a 4 and you're on the 8 of diamonds, you will have access to the bracelet, to purchase the bracelet. Bracelets can be used to lift and throw big octoroks. Roll X battle dice. Number of battle dice equals heart count. All swords, cross swords, these ones here, they will count as hits. And it can also be used on the dungeon bosses and the spade cards. Lens of Truth. This thing here. The Lens of Truth can be used to reveal the underground depths and for that certain spade dungeon boss. That's this one. You get 90 rupees. So the last one's 80 rupees, and this is 90 rupees. So you go by the number 9, 8, and 9. And specifically what I mean by revealing it is that you can take the underground dungeon and put it on top of the table instead of underneath the table. We'll go more into the depths later. Number 10, this is the mirror, 100 rupees. And for the mirror, the mirror can stop Medusa in the spade dungeon and defeat any long-range attack enemies. So any enemy that can use long range, the mirror will bounce off their attacks and reflect back to them. So pretend the merchant's an enemy. If he attacks Link, then the mirror is used. So that's that one. Jack is 100. This is 110 rupees. This is the bait. The bait is a food product, i.e. a hamburger to lure all enemies of spade and club and the owl bear. You have to see the dicelings. So the owl bear can be baited. I think the owl bear is one of the dungeon enemies. The bait can be used 12 times and all enemies lose 3 turns at once. When placing the bait and or moving away, the total number of hexes equals hearts. So every enemy moves to a hex adjacent to that bait. What that means is that if, let's say Link has 5 hearts, or let's say this is 3, let's say it is number 5. So if you have 5 hearts, you're moving 5 hexes away. So you're placing that bait, and then you move away, and then all enemies move on hexes right next to the bait. The Multidimensional Clock, this is 120 rupees. This is a long explanation. I'll try to go over it really quick. The quantum computer is only used once per dungeon and club terrain. So only once in the wild and once per dungeon. It can be used on the spinning top boss. It must be used on the spinning top boss. I'll explain later to win. When playing the mini Perplexus, you have to roll a d20 for 1 to 20 seconds. In seconds, you have to guide the tiny marble through the maze. So it's playing Perplexus here. So you guide the tiny marble through the maze as far as possible before falling or running out of time. The X number is how many turns an enemy loses. Link is rewinding time, just like in Tears of the Kingdom. Rewinding time so all enemies affected must go back to their starting point before losing turns. Link's clock can affect up to 3 enemies at once. Animals and thieves can also be affected. So essentially it's rewinding everyone's turns to go back. I guess they would get their HP back or whatever. And they just go back to their starting points. And then Link can take advantage of that. And finally, at 140 rubies is the Force Gem. The Force Gem is one of 2 ways to turn Tetra. I don't think I have Tetra on the table, but Tetra would pirate into Princess Zelda. Only Zelda may use the gem. The Force Gem is the second. The Force Gem is the all-powerful weapon to use on all enemies, including Ganondorf. Destroys enemies instantly. A number die from Zelda is used for her turns. So you can roll a number and then she'll use that Force Gem many ways. You have to see Princess Zelda for more details. This is similar to the light arrow in Wind Waker, where it just destroys everything. More to come. Next up, we're going to talk about the slot machines and the hotels for the towns.